Is a time of renewal, and we all know the term spring cleaning, but that doesn't just refer to a physical chore. It can also be a metaphor for cleansing all the unnecessary people and clutter in your life, mind, and soul. Joining us now to discuss spring cleaning post-divorce is the divorce coach Sara Davison, who is the author of Uncoupling: How to Survive and Thrive After Breakup and Divorce. Sara, welcome to Bloom. Good to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And this book is so personal because it comes from your personal two-year journey. Tell me how that inspired you to write this book and in turn help other people.
Yes, well, anyone who's been through a breakup or a divorce will know the heartache, the overwhelm, the panic, and how frightening it can be. And I definitely was there when I found out that my marriage was over. I didn't see it coming, and so I did a lot of the really upset devastation, worried about my future, not knowing which way to turn. But then I had a moment where I thought, you know what, this can define me, and either I step up and make a choice here to do something different, or I drag this around with me forever. So I decided to combine my coaching skills with the divorce to create the tools which I now share in the book to help other people. But it came from that moment of real pain, deciding no more. This is my chance to step up and turn things around.
So you come out triumphant after that pain, but I imagine it's a very difficult journey. And I know it's not an easy answer, but how would you summarize how you kind of pulled yourself out of the darkness?
Well, yes, it is a long journey, but actually there are lots of things you can do to speed that up. And I think the first thing is having a great support team around you. It's important to have people that understand what you're going through and don't get fed up 6 months in telling you, come on, you should be over it by now. So having a good team around you is important, and looking after yourself. I think a lot of the time we go into sort of total breakdown mode. But for me, my son was only 1 at the time. So I had to get out of bed because I had to look after him. And as parents, we do more for our kids than we ever will do for ourselves. So actually having that was really helpful for me. But I had a passion to turn this into something that would help other people, because there really wasn't any support at that time for people going through breakups. So I decided that pain to power was going to be my journey and that I wasn't going to look back.
I like that as a mantra, as a life mantra too. That's very good. Let's talk about this spring cleaning. I think it's a great concept because this season there is something about it that makes you just kind of want to start fresh. If you've just been through a breakup of any sort, what is a good place to start kind of spring cleaning your life?
Well, I think at home, first of all, because if you are still going through the heartbreak stage, if there are things at home that upset you, maybe you're walking around and you see a photograph that reminds you of your ex, or a trip you went on with your ex, that can really bring back the heartache and the pain. So detoxing your home and getting all the clutter out that reminds you of your ex is going to be really important. And boxing it up and putting it out of sight just for now. Obviously, if they're kids in the home, obviously you don't want to remove all the pictures of the other parent, but you can just subtly shift them into the kids' rooms maybe, or the play areas, not your living space, if that's going to upset you.
And I like that you're just boxing them up, not giving them away or throwing them away, because who knows, in a couple of months or years, you might be ready to revisit and maybe wish you had some of that, right?
Absolutely. I've had clients who have burnt everything and had big parties, destroying things, cutting things up. But usually a couple of months down the line, there are repercussions of that and regret. And we don't want to have regret. In a couple of months, when the emotions are down, then you can make those kind of decisions.
Agreed. Number 2, how do we clean out our emotional closet, as you put it?
Yeah, this is absolutely crucial to moving on. Actually, we are our own worst enemies a lot of the time. We keep ourselves stuck by reliving the moments. Now, especially us women, we like to tell the story of our breakup, and that might not be just to friends and family. It might be when we're having our hair done or where we get to get our nails done. We tell the story, and that very much keeps us stuck in the moment. It triggers all those negative emotions again. So either changing the story to something more empowering, maybe thinking about things you can do now that you could never have done before, creating a breakup bucket list of things that you could never have done when you were married, just even small things, or maybe big things like climbing a mountain or learning a new skill. You know, these things are really important. Shifting your story will help you unlock those more positive emotions rather than being stuck on the negative.
Do you find that friends or even people who know about your divorce, well-meaning I'm sure, but they're like, how are you? And so you have to kind of tell the story over and over, even if you're like sick of telling it. What's your advice for kind of nipping that in the bud?
Oh, you're so right. This is exactly what happens, and you feel like you have to because it's polite, and because they're being friendly and they genuinely want to know, to support you. I think the trick there is to practice this out loud in front of the mirror. It feels a bit awkward at first, but have something that you say that's, oh, I'm happily divorced, thanks, or, well, I'm doing okay, actually, I'm moving forward, and then take it on to something more exciting, maybe a new plan that you have.
Lastly, you say we have to clean out our financial expectations. What does that mean?
It means really getting real on your financial situation. A lot of us will run away from things that we're scared of, and I think money, especially being a divorce, can be super expensive. Lifestyles are separating, usually means our budgets are reduced. So actually taking the time to look at that, not run away, the clarity you get from looking at your finances and understanding where the gaps might be and where you may have to cut back will actually give you power. Because if you don't know, then there's nothing you can plan for. When you know, you can create a budget and a new plan to help you move forward. And remember, what happens now isn't for life. You can go and get a new job, you can create an extra revenue stream. There are lots of things you can do. So don't get hung up on the settlement. It's more about looking to the future and taking your power back.
That's what it's all about. That's the mantra. Sara Davison, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.